Dr. Leo Igwe is a distinguished Nigerian human rights advocate and secular humanist, renowned for his unwavering commitment to combating harmful superstitions, including witchcraft accusations, and promoting humanism. He founded the Humanist Association of Nigeria in 1990 and is a long-standing board member with Humanists International. Dr. Igwe has received global recognition, including awards for his services to humanism and his advocacy against witchcraft-related persecutions. He continues to be an active voice against human rights abuses and a proponent for reason, science, and human values addressing societal issues. I'm pleased to say that my colleagues Lola and AJ have also joined me for this interview. So, Dr. Igwe, thank you so much for joining us on Humanism Now.
Yeah, thank you, James, for having me.
Pleasure. So, I guess as mentioned in my intro, you have been a lifelong campaigner and committed to the humanist cause. I think it'd be interesting to know about your background, your upbringing, and what led you to humanism in the first place.
I think that first of all, we should acknowledge that humanism is something that beats in the heart of every human being. Yes, I think it is. Because I don't think that as a human being, anything humanistic should be alien. In the course of our growth, in the course of our upbringing, of course, we are told, okay, you have to believe in a deity, you have to believe in the supernatural, you have to believe in a God, you have to belong to this group, you have to belong to that group. And slowly and steadily, we find that we are being shifted. We are being moved. Sometimes we're being moved away in a way that alienates us, we human beings, from ourselves. So I was born in southeastern. I was born in a village in southeastern Nigeria, and there I grew up for about 12 years, interacting just like a typical village community. Life is rural. People try to mix religious, traditional Christian beliefs and ways of life. Then at the age of 12, my mother took me to a Catholic seminary where I trained to be a priest. And there I studied philosophy much later. And actually, it was in the course of studying philosophy that I got to know about humanism as a formal, a kind of formal way of thinking, or as a school of thought. And that was where I got fascinated by it, because quite unlike the religious notions, humanism speaks to me. And humanism, it talks about me and the other human being, unlike religious teachings that tell you so much about sometimes what you don't see, what you don't hear, what you really don't understand, and people you don't really have connection, or entities or personalities, as the first case may be, you don't have a connection. So that was in the course. After studying philosophy, I now begin to think that the religious thing is not good for me. And so I left the seminary training, and of course I now started a Humanist Association. That was in the 90s, and there has not been any reason for me to change, because for me I just felt like being a humanist is like going home. It's like coming back to myself, and now religion makes better sense to me as a humanist than it did then, because then I was taking it so seriously that it becomes so alienating, so self-alienating. It degrades you. It makes you think that you are nothing, you are worthless, and all that. But now, when I made that shift, I'm in religious studies. My doctorate degree is in religious studies. And I let everybody understand that I understand religion more now and better now than I was then. Because then I was taking it seriously, maybe trying to go to heaven. You deny yourself some food. You think that in the course of it, you could encounter God. And only to find that you're just, either making yourself sicker or making yourself go madder, as a result of your beliefs. So that's it. And I started the movement so that I could connect with other people. Very important, yes, because I felt that sense of connection is helpful in my own ability to grow as a humanist, flourish as a humanist, and also build a society where humanistic values have a place in terms of social progress, in terms of social change, in terms of development.
That's wonderful. And how was it in the early days of founding the association in Nigeria in 96? Apologies, I said 1990 in my intro. Founding in 1996, so we're in the very early days of the internet. So what was that experience like, creating a community and how aware were you of other people who also shared this idea of humanism at the time?
Yeah, well, when we started, I just had an idea of, a community where I could connect. Somehow you need a place. You need people you could sit down and relax and talk and chat and socialize. Not people you like. Let me give an example. This morning, they posted a video of a pastor on a platform who was telling people that when you have a problem with your car engine, that you should use anointing oil. Yes, they posted it on a platform. And I said them, look, this pastor is a clown. And everybody descended on me, all the members, because other people had. So they descended on me. I said, look, you guys are not reacting to the post. You are reacting to what I said. So I know how a lot of people are very hostile when people, try to criticize that. So I was longing for a community where I could laugh. I keep saying this thing. I'm not actually in the humanist community because of so much things, but relax, and they have a good sense of humor. Yes, I enjoy it so much. Now, a pastor said, put anointing oil in a machine. I said, look, this pastor is a clown. If you do that, you will destroy the car more. A car is already bad, and you are adding anointing oil. What's the connection? Now, I called the man a clown. They descended. This I was abusing it. The guy is a clown, honestly. So I need a community where I could say these things, and we begin to talk about it. Yeah. So what am I trying to say? So that was exactly, it was challenging because nobody wanted to criticize religion openly. Nobody wanted to criticize religious actors. Now, having been trained, going through the training as a religious actor made me, I don't have that kind of respect, because they told me I should respect. I said, I can't respect somebody who said I should put anointing oil inside an engine when there's a mechanic who knows what to do with this thing. I will not respect the person, and I don't care what you call him. So my training actually prepared me to have this boldness, in quote, to criticize them. Clerics, man of God, woman of God, I don't care. He made you talk rubbish, is rubbish. Period. I don't want to know.
No, thank you. And you faced much more, threatening attacks than just pylons online throughout your career, legal challenges, personal attacks. How do you find the resilience and strength to continue in the face of sometimes overwhelming opposition to your views?
You know what? I studied a lot before I started the humanist movement. In fact, I went to the encyclopedia. I studied what is humanism, the Middle Ages, the Renaissance. I took time. I knew it was not going to be easy. Yes. So somehow I was mentally prepared. Yes. Yes. In fact, I was ready. I told my family not too long ago that I was ready for everything. And when I say everything, I'm sure you understand what I mean. Okay. So, and I knew the society. Yes. So that's why when people try to tell me that I don't know what I'm doing in terms of my campaign here, I feel insulted. I know the society. I'm a Nigerian. I understand how to talk to Nigerians, even when like today, I did it on that platform. They didn't remove me. I'm still there. So they said, telling me about that I'm a Saul, that I could become a Paul. I said, okay, yeah, but I've made my point. So what am I trying to say is that I know my society. Knowledge is power. So I knew where to stop. And when I have made my point, and again, I try to connect internationally. Yes. So I try to, liaise with the humanist groups in the West, people, again, like mine, who understand where I'm coming from. So with my local knowledge and international connection, I find a way to renew myself in the face of being burnt out or hostility or persecution or, being resilient. So resilience is a factor of renewal based on knowledge and international connections.
Thank you. And in terms of that local knowledge, how would you describe the religious culture in Nigeria? This is a country which is, fast becoming, one of the most populous, but potentially one of the most important, an economic hub in the future. It's going to be a more and more important country going forward. So, but I think it's perhaps not as well understood, particularly in Europe, in terms of the cultural makeup and the complexities. So how would you describe the religious situation, and how has that changed in your your 30 years of running the humanist group?
Well, there are changes. There are changes. But I want to let you know that the Western representation of Africa, the Eastern, that's Arab Islamic representation of Nigeria and Africa, that are holding us hostage. We are not as religious as you think. And people are religious because they don't have an alternative. And that's exactly why I am interested in the Humanist Association. I'm interested in the humanist movement. Give them a better alternative. Remove the coercions. Remove all these privileges around religion. I want to tell you that Nigeria will be one of the most irreligious nations in the world. Yes. Now, listen. What is the price of being a Christian? Yes, you get a lot of support and solidarity from Europe and America. You get free visas. You get a lot, But what is important? What do you benefit if you're a humanist, if you're opposing religion? They'll just tell you, you will lose election. You have no ally. There are few of you. So it does not matter here what you preach. It matters what benefit comes from it. That's why I said I have local knowledge. Now, of course, Islam is that one is a different thing. You don't even talk about it. Yes, it's either you believe or you die, in quotes. Okay? There is no space for negotiation. There's no middle ground. So people are held hostage, religiously hostage. Now, this religious hostage has gone over a long time, and there is no alternative. That is why today I'm saying the Humanist Association, I said, look, you guys must provide an effective global alternative or you are irrelevant. Yes, you lose relevance. Yes, because people are here looking for an alternative they cannot find. Let me just give you one example. A colleague from Sudan told me that a Muslim member was into some financial difficulties, looking for money to pay the son's school fees, and went to the Muslim brothers or relatives. They did not give him the money. So he went to the Christians, and they gave him money to pay school fees. He converted to Christianity. So when they were asking him, he said that when he needed help, that they didn't provide it. Now, I'm not trying to present this, as if it's all about the stomach, all about benefit. But what I'm trying to say is this. People are not religious because, we understand Jesus or Allah more than that. There are a lot of social aspect of it, political capital in this. Now, as long as the alternative has no social or political capital, many Nigerians will remain religious. I went to a meeting where somebody told me, I'm not religious, but I go to church. A lot of people are not religious, but they go to mosque. They pray even. And all that. They do as much as possible to satisfy that outwardness because they want to be alive. They want to they want to get votes, when they contest for election. They want to get scholarship. They want to get jobs. So they have hijacked all this, holding us hostage. Now, we who understand this cannot resign to it. If we resign to it, then we have failed in a non-religious constituency that has always been there and that will always be there. Because religion does not make sense to a lot of people.
Yeah, very interesting. And I think very enlightening about the makeup. So have you seen a growth in the interest in humanism? Do you see the community growing? And I guess the subsequent question is, what can groups like yours, like ours, like Humanists International be doing to create a more appealing alternative?
Let me use that saying in the Bible, because that's my background. Let me use it. Let my people go. That's all. Let me tell you, they're holding them hostage. Like the Islamic, in Nigeria has a more or less, is a kind of representative sample in the sense that we have this very Muslim-leaning north and Christian-leaning south, okay? So, and all of them are in different levels of hostage. That are being held hostage. In different ways, okay? Let them go. That's all, so that they can think freely, they can question freely. Now, recently, the latest blasphemy case we have in Katsina, of course, it's not a humanist, it's a Christian, who made a post on social media, just on social media like Mubarak did, that Muhammad was a fake prophet and the Quran was like a pirated book, things like that. And of course, a lot of us don't believe that the guy was even a prophet at all, and all that. Yeah, but you don't say it. That's where we are now. So, and we thought that social media will give people an ample space to be expressive and say, but we are not even getting there. So we are even getting to the stage whereby Even you can post something on social media, you get killed. Yes, you can post something. Deborah, the Christian girl, just made a post on WhatsApp. That was all. They came and lynched her. So are we growing with a lot of caution? Because you know why? Any mechanism for growth, they will hijack it. They're not hijacking social media. So before you make a post now, you now look over your shoulder and say, who will read this post? Will they come after me? Okay? And all that. So now, what we were expecting could actually give us a space to be more expressive, they have also hijacked it. You know why? Because international mechanisms have also allowed these people to get away with it. Yes, because when they do this, I mean, they got some tacit support from the East, from the Muslim part of the world. And of course, the Christian part of the world will say, oh, yeah, but you need to respect their religion. So we are just, 3 steps forward, 4 steps backward, 2 steps forward. We keep moving back and forth. So are we really making progress? I don't know. But the fact remains that people will continue to long to express themselves, to say what they think is true. Nobody will stop it. They will disrupt it. They will put them in jail. But it will, like now, is Muhammad a prophet? I don't know. I didn't make him a prophet. I don't care. You get what I'm trying to say? So don't bring him. Yeah. I used to tell them, they said I shouldn't throw the Quran to the floor. I said, okay, don't bring it. I don't want it. I don't want even to read. Can you take it away? Because if you give it to me, I will put it where I put my books. Okay, they say you shouldn't put another book on top of the Quran. I said, why? So everybody knows that this is absurd. Okay, now they want to force it on you. But of course, people are being cautious. Again, people want to live. Yes, nobody wants to die. And we know that there is no afterlife. So you really have to tread with caution. Now, in trading with caution, it seems as if we are not a significant population in terms of, non-religious people. We are. I can tell you, a lot of people come to me, they just tell me, Leo, I believe in what you're saying. I support what you're saying, but I don't have the boldness to say this. Some people are worried about what their parents will say. Some people are worried about their jobs. I know somebody who is in the police, in the Nigerian police, part of the Nigerian police force, but he said because of his job, he will not come out openly. And I said, no problem. So a lot of us are in the closet. So that is why I said it is important, those of us who are out, to begin to make sure we have a robust mechanism to represent many of these people in parts of the world where they could be killed, or they could suffer serious damage or loss as a result of open expressions of their views.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's very important, that representation, that open, being open and providing people that resource if they need it, to know that they're not alone if they are having these doubts or they share these views. So thank you for everything you've done. And I know you've had some great successes in your campaigning as well, particularly through advocacy for alleged witches. I wonder if you could perhaps, for those who are unfamiliar, explain some of the cases which you've had to fight, and in particular, the successes that you've had, but why this has persisted as an issue.
Well, the thing is this: the evil, the abuse, the wrongs religion commit, they put them under. They try not to highlight those things. Yes. Like now, blasphemy, killings, the witchcraft accusations, persecutions. They try to minimize those things. Yes. And it is our duty, the duty of non-believers, non-religious people who have a sense of how the society should, go and be governed, to highlight them. So one of the ways we have tried to make a case for humanism is to advocate against witchcraft accusation and witch persecution. Because it is an abuse, an atrocity being committed and linked to people's belief and unbelief in the supernatural or in the magical world. So what are we doing? So no more argument, because a lot of the time people will say, you don't believe in witches, you don't believe in the devil, you don't believe in God, then they shut down. They don't want to listen to you again. But what we do now, we present the case before them. I say, okay, look at this. Look at this. You believe, but look at where we are. Look at what is being done. So we are using these cases to make a case for a more humanistic society, a society that values life, values human rights, values equality, a society also that should tolerate, in quote, beliefs that deviate, ideas of the world that deviate from theirs. So we've been making a lot of success. And I must tell you, right now we are overwhelmed. We are literally overwhelmed because people come to us to provide them assistance, to help speak for them. We had a case that was last year. Somebody was, this man was, they accused him of being responsible for the death in a village, and they went in the middle of the night and, they abducted him and just set him ablaze. He said that they were just trying to, okay, you guys may not understand this. The way they do goat, when they want to kill goat and prepare it for meat, they just set up fire openly and throw the whole thing inside it. He said that they treated him like a goat. But that even if you want to do that to a goat, that you first of all, you have to kill the goat. But they didn't kill him. They just threw him live and threw him inside the fire. So that was it. So luckily he survived. Okay? So they drew our attention and we moved in, got the police to arrest the perpetrators and charge them to court. They never expected it because very often they get away with these things. So they were able now to come together and apologized and told the family that they would not harm the man if eventually he returned. So we are having that as a kind of a social experiment now. So the man has returned to the village. So we are monitoring his safety, as he's back there now. So this is one of our cases we have intervened. In fact, we have a recent case where a young woman, a widow, the family members accused her, and their plan was to tie her and throw her into a river. But initially, they now changed their mind and now brought a local masquerade and they used that to, drive her out of the village. But luckily, it was somebody caught that in a video and posted it on social media. We intervened. We are trying to rehabilitate her as we speak at the moment. So we also have a child who was also, they burnt her to the point that part of her buttocks was, burnt, partially burnt, and we were also able to intervene, rescue, and charge the people to court. So these are some of the things we are trying to do. And we need to consistently be doing it, to make sure that there is a paradigm shift, because we have not gotten there yet. So the cases are still so many. In Ghana, they have a particular thing they call witch camps, but these are refuge centers where people flee to. Immediately they persecute them. They don't want to be lynched. They run there. So these places are still there. They need to go away, because for me, there is no meaningful campaign we are running until we begin the process of shutting down witchcraft accusation as a form of a death sentence, so that people who live in refuge centers could go back home in Ghana. For me, I can't sleep. I'm not happy that, okay, I went there to do research. People are still going to come to do research there next year. They are awarded doctorate degrees. Next 5 years, next 10 years, next 20 years. Human beings are there and nothing is being done. So what I'm saying there, in Malawi, we have a very bad situation also. They're stoned to death. They're also lynched, So in fact, there was a woman who was pushed into, they wanted to bury the woman alive. So we have had cases in Zambia, people buried alive. Why are these things going on? There is no robust, mechanism to beat back the tide. It's reactionary. People just come, immediately it happens, the police will set in if they come at all, then after that, nothing happens. So right now, we want to put in place a mechanism that will respond, not only after the thing happened, but before it happens. And that we think that by doing so, we might also connect with the Renaissance. The idea that people who spoke about against witch hunt in early modern Europe, we are also humanists. Hopefully, when the history is written many years from now, the humanist movement will also be identified with ending witch persecution, in Africa. That's my hope. That's my dream. But before then, we need to end it. Before they write any history, let's end it first. So that is my preoccupation now. So we've made some success in that area, and I hope that we will continue until we are able to make the breakthrough. We have not gotten there yet, but we are making progress. We are trying to get there.
No, it's incredible work. Those are quite shocking cases, and thank you for your commitment to the cause. You mentioned being overwhelmed with the cases which you receive. If anybody listening would like to contribute in some way, how can they help? Where are you looking for assistance, volunteers?
Yes, today there are so many ways you can help. First of all, we need a platform to keep presenting this perspective, because a lot of people have this idea that, witch hunting is in Africa, is cultural to them. I hear a lot of nonsense, even from Europeans and Americans, and sometimes I get angry with them. I said, if you don't know something, just shut up. Just, shut up. You must not comment. They say, it's cultural to us. First of all, they must drop the misrepresentation of witchcraft accusation in Africa. That is number one thing you can help us do. Please. They should stop saying that this thing is cultural to us, that is our own way of life, that it helps us to stabilize our society. It's not true. The scholarship in this respect is wretched, and it's part of the problem. And that's why when you want to address it, there's this smile on their face when you talk about it. It's like, it's not like, these are not serious things. It doesn't worth our time. You are disturbing them. People are dying. Yes. Mm-hmm. If you throw a British person, want to bury a British person alive in Malawi, you will see what will happen. Yeah, but when they bury a Malawian, somebody will just smile and say, Africans and all that. So there is this low seat they give us. The thing makes me mad when I get to international conferences, and I even don't want to hear it. So if you really want to help us, first of all, stop this. They should stop this idea that witchcraft accusation is cultural to us. When your mother is accused, you will not know that is not cultural. When they want to throw you inside the grave and bury you, recently, I can show you the image. A woman was buried she was lucky. In Malawi, they buried her up to the head. Okay? And all that. So that is one good thing they can do for us. The misrepresentation of witchcraft accusation in Africa should stop. Then, of course, those who are trying to advocate it, they can support them through all the NGOs. Through Humanists International. Any support that comes to Humanists International will get to us. Any support that comes to all our allies in the UK, in the Europe or America, we get to us. So, but first of all, we must all agree that this has to end. That this thing has nothing to do with stability, cultural benefit. It has no cultural benefit to Africa. It is harming, it is destructive, it is dark, and we must end it. Immediately we agree on this, I think that the financial, political will just come up, and that we will be moving closer to stopping this nonsense.
Thank you. Couldn't agree more. No, it's it does require a unified effort, definitely. And before we wrap up, what advice do you have for aspiring activists? Anyone who's looking to follow in your footsteps, well, what would be your best words of wisdom?
Yeah, for me, first of all, I don't want us to be operating based on spontaneous emergence of activists. Yes. We should begin the process of being better organized and coordinated. Yes, and it has made us not a very serious organization. Yes, I must say this. Some months ago we just heard that somebody emerged in South Africa. She's very competent. She said, "Who is this?" Nobody knows clearly who the person is. Nobody has any clear profile. They say, he's a humanist. Now the person will be writing nonsense. You don't know whether the person is on drugs. You don't know anything. So we keep operating as if there is no sense of understanding. Today, if you go to the Catholic Church or you write something about a clergy, you refer to somebody, okay, I know this man, I met him, this and all that. So I think that this idea of relying on activists emerging here and there and working in a very coordinated, we need to end it. We need to have a sense of who is doing what and who is who. Yeah, email address is not enough. Facebook posts and social media posts is not enough. From individuals, you don't even know their character, you don't know their background, nothing. So what I'm saying there is, first of all, we need to begin to have a sense of coordination in terms of our activism. That is the only way we can begin to make reasonable progress. Now, people should also understand what they are into. Yes, a lot of people will come in, they follow either the wave. Maybe there's a donation coming the way of Leo. Somebody now starts engaging in such a thing. Yeah, because he wants the donation. He's not even interested in the job. So people should understand what they want to do. Like I told you, it took me a while. I had to understudy. So I read about witch hunting in Europe. I did a doctorate there before I move in. So when I'm speaking from point of view of knowledge. So activists should be informed. Don't be shallow-minded. And I think that for me, If you are informed, every other thing becomes very easy. You can navigate the tension. You can navigate every issue and challenge. You have credibility, and you will be able to attract all the necessary support you will get. For me, if you want to be activist, go and study, be well informed, be focused, and yes, be resilient.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your resilience and everything that you've contributed with Humanists International and the local groups as well. A couple of closing questions. Are you optimistic and for the future of humanism, particularly in West Africa? And what role would you like to see humanism playing in the future in society within Nigeria?
You see, if I can't say I'm not optimistic. To say that is like shooting myself on my foot. Yes, I am, but it's cautious optimism. Okay. Yes, I'm optimistic, but I'm also, aware of the fact that things could also go the other way. Okay. Yes. People are becoming more knowledgeable. People are becoming more informed. Yes, even though we are having all this stress on social media, people want to kill another person for making, all that. For me, those people are losing grounds. All these people that are reacting violently, whether you cartoon Mohammed or you say something about the Quran, they start running around like crazy people here and there, burning embassies and all that. They are losing. They are the losers. And for me, they will continue to be the losers. So that is the basis of my optimism when it comes to the future. But these are not optimism that will drop on our laps. We also have to sit up, those of us who have some sense of idea of what this future will be, a more secular future, more tolerant future. So we really have to work for it. If we don't work for it, then it will be delayed. Yes, yeah, because I want some of these things to happen within my own lifetime. So I'm looking forward to a situation where we play a more active role in our schools. Yes, our education system is part of the problem. Today, the education, I have a 5-year-old and he comes back, he starts telling me about Jesus. I said, Jesus? You are telling me about Jesus. What do you know? Do you get it? He said, God lives in heaven. I said, where is heaven? He'll point up there. I said, there's nothing there. You just get other, planets and all that. At 5 years, a child knows about Jesus. He doesn't know anything about the planet and about, about what is going on about the sun. But he knows about Jesus and all that. So our education has to change. Yes. And I have a feeling that we who understand how to change these things also have to sit up and come up with materials and begin. Otherwise, they will still continue this kind of indoctrination. So if we're able to change our educational system and couple with the fact that we're getting more interconnected, a lot of information out there, and all that, making people to sometimes begin to question what they're told or what are taught. So I'm thinking that, a brighter future lies ahead. But that brighter future is something we have to work for. We have to earn it. Yes. And we have to protect it. We have to guard it. We have to be vigilant. So it's not something that will just happen like a miracle. So that is the basis of my optimism. And I think that it's possible that it can also happen within my own lifetime. Yes.
Wonderful. And I know you'll also be presenting a new vision for humanism in Africa at events upcoming soon. So we'll certainly keep an eye out for that. Our usual closing question is to ask about something which you've changed your mind on. And I'm happy to leave that as an open question to you. But I wanted to draw back to something you said right at the start, that you feel now like you understand religion from the perspective of humanist better than you understood it when you were studying to be a pastor. So would you mind explaining your understanding of religion now and why you feel it is a more complete version?
Religion is largely an understanding, a perception of the world based on ignorance and fear. Yes. So when the world or when human beings were much more afraid, religion gives them a more holistic, so that whether you are educated or not, immediately you are religious, you have an idea of the world. Yes. Religion is not concerned with what is true. Religion is concerned in giving you some kind of a coherent, some kind of a sense of the world. Yes. So that is why you'll get, children, they'll be telling you about the angels. They say, oh yeah, they have wings. And you ask them, where do they? Maybe you start questioning it, the whole thing crumbles. So religion is just something that helps human beings. It's a survivalist thing. Yes, it helps human beings to make sense of survival, to make sense of life. So that's what I said, and that's why today, when you are explaining why do people believe in this? They believe in this because sometimes they were not educated, or they deliberately rejected. People can deliberately reject what they think is true. Yes. But the whole thing is that it gives you a sense of the world. It's not concerned with whether it is true or not. So, and that is why you can see somebody on this, you say, I'm a Christian. Ask the person, what is the first book or second last book in the Bible? The person doesn't know. Ask the person, questions fundamental about the faith. They don't know, but just say I'm a Christian. Or they just say, oh, I know God created me and all that. That's how, where, when. So it gives people a sense of it. So that's why, as long as people are ignorant, as long as people are poor, their needs are not met, there are no efforts to really get people the knowledge that gives them that confidence, religion will continue to thrive. Yes, this is my understanding. But it is important we at the Humanist Association put religion in this perspective, because I used to tell them in the boss that my problem is not that you are religious, but where do you put religion? Where do you put, don't in the shelf, put religion where you have fiction, put it there. I don't have a problem with it. Okay, like the pastor who said something about the engine and anointing oil. I told him I didn't have a problem. I won't have a problem if you people told me this guy was joking. Yes. So for me, religion is largely a joke. It's a joke. Okay, and we are human beings. We can joke. Okay, I told them I don't have a problem with that pastor if he were a comedian. Yes, if he was saying this thing as a form of comedy, I won't have a problem. I won't even call him a clown. I'll call him a comedian and I'll enjoy the comedy. But the man is not telling us this thing as a comedian. He's telling us that if we have a problem with our car engine, we should do that. He wasn't saying this as a comedy. So is there a place of comedy in human life? Yes, please. So that is where religion has its place. But when you are having serious conversation, please, and about how to repair your car, please, don't refer to this pastor. Don't refer to what he said. And please seek out somebody who has knowledge of science and technology, a trained mechanic, an engineer, to handle your car. So I just want to use that very story to tell you, my sense of religion. But I understand him, because for him, Nigerian things are very difficult. The economy is very bad. So if you don't have money to repair your car, you could pray, hoping that the car gets fixed. Yeah. So that is it. So I understand where he's coming from, but it must be either a joke or a form of comedy. So if apart from this, I don't think that the example I've given now, if that is what religion is, I don't think we should take it beyond that. Yes, but let me not rule out the fact that religion has inspired a lot of people to do a lot of good. Yes. Religion has also inspired a lot of people to do a lot of harm. Yes. But when it comes to a way of thinking that doesn't allow you to question, a way of thinking that tyrannizes over your life, it is important we treat such way of thinking, or such way of looking at the world, with special sense of scrutiny and critical examination. Otherwise, it will do more harm than good.
Dr. Leo Igwe, thank you so much for joining us on Humanism Now.
It's my pleasure, as always.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.